Go to the Ribbon tab and click Cadworx Plant 1. And to open the Plant Setup dialog box, click this first button. And for the current drawing, select 3D Enhanced. For configuration setting, click this one here and select Metric Eng. Apply and close. To open the Spec View palette, click this button here. And as you can see, it's still empty. So click this button, click Browse, and select Metric Eng CS specs.prj and click Open. Now for specifications, select 150. For the main size, select 3 inches. For reduction, I'm gonna select 2 and click OK. As you notice here, there is still no line number attached inside the Spec View palette. To do that, click this button here, the Setup button, and enter the category. So click this one. I'm gonna start with Service first. Add. The next one would be Size. Add. And the next one would be Count. Add. And next one is Spec. Add. The last one is Insulate and Add. I'm gonna add a separator in between those categories. So type in dash and add another one. I'm gonna move this one up in between Service and Size. So move up. Another one, move up in between Size and Count. Click this one, move up. And the last one, move up. And check the System On for Dynamic Size and Spec and click OK. Now if you check the Spec View palette, you can see all these categories which are still empty. Well, there's something there already, but I'm gonna start from scratch. So click this one here, this line number drop down setup. I'm gonna erase all of this, remove all. For Count, I'm gonna remove all. For Insulate, I'm gonna remove all. So start with Service. I'm gonna enter PL. Enter and maybe PV. For Count, I'm gonna start with 001. Enter 002. Enter 003. Enter 004. Enter. Maybe up to 005. Enter. For Insulate, I'm gonna enter IH. Enter and maybe 38. H. And click OK. Now if you click Service, you have all these choices here. And Size is dynamic. For Count, you have all these numbers. Spec is dynamic. For Insulate, and there's this IH. So I'm gonna start with PL, and for the Count, I'm gonna start with 001. I'm gonna start with a 2-inch flange, so I'm gonna change the size to 2-inch. Now I have 2 pumps ready that I XREF. Now I'm gonna bring this drawing to Southwest Isometric, or maybe Southeast, and change this one to Conceptual. And I'm gonna attach a flange from this endpoint. So shift right click, select center, attach it from this endpoint, and assign direction along the x-axis and click. Now I'm gonna attach an eccentric reducer from this endpoint. So select small n and click that endpoint bring your cursor upward so the bottom would be flat. And the current line number set up is 3 inches 001. And then continue on. I'm gonna attach check valve from the end point. Then attach elbow. A 90-degree elbow. And bring it upward. Make sure your ortho mode is on. And then attach ball valve. Click the end point. Then attach pipe. And enter 1,000. Enter and enter again. And then attach elbow. From the end point. And assign direction. And along the y-axis, just click that. And another pipe from the end point for 600. Enter and enter again. Now I'm gonna attach another elbow from the end point and point it upward. And attach a pipe or a nipple for 300. Enter up again. Okay, pipe and point for 300. Enter. And you can see here it's 300. And attach a T from the end point. So click branch inside the command prompt. Click branch option. Now I'm holding the end of the branch and snap that end point. And change the direction to x-axis, along the x-axis. Click here. Now I'm gonna attach another pipe from the end point. And maybe about this point here, maybe about 5,000. Enter and enter again. And if I double click this one, this is now all 001 pipe. So from this point here, from the eccentric, including this pipe, is one line number. So this is the 001 line number. And the size is 3 inches, excluding this one here. Now, I'm going to assign another pipe or line number for 002. And I'm going to change this one to 2 inches. And this one to 3. And attach a flange from this end point. So shift right click and select center. Snap that. And assign direction. Click that. And I'm going to attach a pipe from this end point for 300. Enter and enter again. And so if I double click this one, this is 2 inches 002 line number. And this one too. But this one is 2 inches 001 line number. So I'm gonna make this one I'm gonna change the line number for this one, because this one and this one are of the same size. So select assign. So inside this panel, select assign and click this flange and select yes. So if I double click this one, now this is a 002 line number. So if I go to line view, if I check this one, the 002 line number with a size of 2 inches, and right click and select isolate items. So this one, these 3 components are of the same line number. And if I click this one and isolate, these components here up to here, including this pipe, is of a different line number. All right. I'm gonna start another line number with a count of 003, and the size is 3 inches. So the same here. The service is PL. Attach an eccentric reducer and select small n option. Snap that in point it upward, and select current line number, which is 003, and then continue on with an elbow from that in point and point it upward. I'm just gonna change this to 3 and this one to 2. And then from there, I'm gonna attach a gate valve from this in point, and then add a flange from this in point. Add a pipe from this in point and a pipe with the same size or the same length, and enter again with this one here, and then add elbow from this in point and point it along the y-axis. And this time I'm gonna add a pipe from in point here, or I can just click this one, click that cross, and enter 1000. Enter again, and I'm gonna check from the right view because I want it to be parallel. See, it has the same height, and then attach an elbow from this in point, bring it upward, attach a nipple from in point and bring it upward and enter 300. Enter again, and attach a T and click branch. Now I'm holding the end of the branch and attach it to this in point and assign direction. So along the y-axis, just click. Now, so this one is 003, and I'm gonna continue on. So attach a pipe from this in point, and I want that pipe to be as the length to be the same as the end here. So just shift right click and select point filter. Wait first. And this one here is parallel to along the Z axis. So point filter and select Z, click the in point here, and now it's locked. The length is locked. Click here and enter again. If I bring this to top view, you can see that it has the same length from this in point to this in point. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. Click that, grab that plus sign, and shift right click and select point filter and select x-axis, because this one is parallel to the x-axis or along the x-axis, and click this in point here and click this side here and enter. If I bring this to top view, now we have the same length of pipe. So this pipe here is, I'm gonna recheck, 001. This one is 003. All right. Now I'm gonna start another routing from here, and this time I'm gonna change it to 4, line 4, and start with 2 inches. I'm just gonna change this to 3. So add flange, shift right click and select center, assign direction, add eccentric, reducer, select small n, and point upward, and select current line number is 004. Actually, I could just copy this one, so I'm gonna delete those. Copy this one up to here, just up to here, because I'm gonna show you how to use connect command. Copy selection, and from the endpoint, attach it to the endpoint here, center, and enter. Now the line number here is still 001, but I'm gonna change it to 004 because this is a new line number. So what I could do is use assign. So inside the panel here, click assign, and excluding the flange here, so just highlight this one, enter, and select yes and yes to all. And if I double click this one, I have a new line number here, 004, except for this one here. So I'm gonna assign a new line number for this one later. All right, so I'm gonna continue. So I'm gonna attach the endpoint here to a T from this, from this line here. I'm gonna attach components. So what I'm gonna do is click this one. You can see the plus sign there, and if you click that, Cadworx is giving you a component, and the first one is always the T. And then I'm gonna align this one to this endpoint. So just make sure your dynamic input is on, and color tracking, and this one here, object snap tracking. So just click that endpoint and bring it downward. So now if I use connect command, Cadworx will provide two possible routing paths indicated by different colored lines. So what I'm gonna do is attach, maybe start with elbow first here, and point it to that direction, and snap that elbow. Click that plus sign there, right click and select connect, and click this endpoint here by the branch and select lines, and you can see the routing path here. I'm gonna select red, enter, and select no. Now I'm just gonna check by bringing this to right view. Yeah, it's parallel. Now I'm gonna do the same here. So now I'm gonna change this one. I'm gonna assign another line or line number. I'm gonna use 005. I'm still gonna use PL, and change this one to 2 because my flange that I'm gonna start with is I'm gonna check this one with 3. So flange, this flange here, and shift right click and attach it to the center here, and assign direction along the Z axis, and attach pipe for 300, enter, and enter again. Now this is just one line number, so this one is the same, and this one here I'm gonna check. So this one is still 002. So what I'm gonna do is assign a line number for this one the same as the line number of these two because they are of the same size. So assign, and if you check here, the line number here is 005. So assign, and just click this one, enter, select yes, and if I double click, the line number is 005. I'm going to check here the count. Is there up to... I'm going to assign another line number. This is just for the sake of demonstration. So I'm going to click this one again. And for the count, I'm going to add another line number for 006. Enter. And click OK. So if I click this one now, you can see the 006. So I'm going to change this one now to 3 and this one to 2. Because I'm going to attach an eccentric reducer from this end. So small n, and click this in point upward, and select the current line number, which is 006. Now I'm going to attach an elbow, point it upward, and from that I'm going to attach gate bulb, from this in point, and then I'm going to attach a pipe, which is also a flange first, from this in point, flange. My mouse is not working. All right, flange from this in point. No, I have to change this one to 3 and this one to 2. All right, so flange, click that in point. I'm going to attach a pipe from this in point and enter 1000, enter and enter again. Just want to make sure it's 1000. All right, now attach an elbow and point it along the x-axis to that direction. Now I'm going to attach this end to this pipe. So I'm going to click this pipe here and click that plus sign, and it's providing a T. I'm going to align the T to this endpoint. So just snap that and bring it downward. And AutoCAD is asking you for, I couldn't see it. I'm going to bring this down now. I'm going to bring this down here somewhere. Okay, again. I'm going to bring it downward. Okay, again. All right, click that plus sign. And I'm going to align it to this elbow. Click it downward. And it's asking you to select this one for options. And the parent line number here is 3. So I'm just going to use the parent line number. And enter. Now I'm going to connect or attach components from this endpoint to this endpoint. I'm going to use connect. So as you know, Cadworx will provide you with components. And right click and select connect. Click this endpoint and select lines. And these are the lines provided by Cadworx. You have choices here. I'm going to select this red line. Select and select no. So if I double click this one, so the line here is 006, but this one is 003. Now I'm going to check all my lines. So I'm going to use line view. And for this one, I'm going to isolate. So this is the first one here, the 002, and with 2 inches size. And for this one, isolate. So we have here another one with 2 inches with 005 line number. For 001, I'm going to isolate. So we have all these ones here except for this T. Now what I'm going to do is change the line number for the T. I'm going to click this one here. So this T should be 001, the same as this one. So I'm going to change this one to 001. And assign. Enter and select yes. Because I want this to be uniform here. So if I click this one here, this line, and isolate items, I'm gonna refresh. Okay, again, 001, assign, click this T, and select yes. I'm gonna refresh this one. And then 001, isolate items. Now it's all the same. So this whole thing is 001. Now I'm gonna bring back my other ones. And now I'm gonna check the 003 line. Right click and isolate items. So this is the 003. And for this line here, I'm gonna isolate. So this one here is 004. I'm gonna isolate this line here, and this one is 006. I'm gonna bring this all back, show all components, and I think we are done. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, and if you like what I did, click the like button, comment, and hit that bell icon to get notified for the next tutorial, and see you again.